next question actually. The set containing of it's not a question, it's a statement. Eighth one is also a question actually, but in a way you should understand what is the meaning of that. That is the main intention actually. Suppose yeah, the set containing only zeros. Okay, so your the set is containing only zeros here. So vector in the zero vector in the vector space is a subspace of V. So zero vector is called as a subspace, that you should know. Okay, it's called as a zero and it is written as zero. Okay, if it is a 2-dimension, it is 0, 0. So always zero vector is a subspace. Okay, so one more thing. Next question is this: consider all the vectors in R square whose components are positive or 0. So you consider like this. What they are saying is you should consider only the positive numbers. Suppose you consider 1, 1. Okay, so this is, they are calling this as a subspace. Okay, the first quadrant they are calling as a subspace. So what are all the vectors present in this one in first quadrant? 1, 1 will be there, or else 1, 2 will be there. Okay, similarly you have 2, 2 like that. When you add these two, what you get? The answer will be 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. Correct? No, 2 plus 2, 3 actually you will get 2, 3. So the once you get 2, 3, right? So that is after adding 1, 1 and 1, 2, you got as 2, 3. So that is also present in the first quadrant. So there is no problem in that. But one more property you have to prove that. See, the question is whether the first quadrant is a subspace. That is the question. So that means they're telling that you should have a positive x and y should have the positive value greater than or equal to 0. That means that it's a first quadrant. Okay. So you have to find out that whether the first quadrant is a subspace. So I considered two vectors 1, 1 and 1, 2. I added that, you got 2, 3. So it's fine. One of the condition of the subspace is satisfied. But what is the another condition? You have to multiply with the constant. You have to find out whether Cx exists in a subspace. But zero vector is always there, because since x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0, it includes greater than or equal to 0. It includes zero vector, so no problem. But since C can be a real number, if you consider -1, okay, -1 into 1, 1, then what you get? See, addition is working, but when you multiply -1 into 1, 1, what you get is -1, -1, right? That is in the third quadrant. So when you multiply the constant -1 to the vector which is present in the first quadrant 1, 1, actually you are getting the vector in the third quadrant. So that means that first quadrant is not a subspace. That means the condition x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0 is not a subspace. But what if you consider both first quadrant and the second quadrant, right? So that may be the trick. You consider both first quadrant as well as the third quadrant as a subspace. Together you are considering first quadrant as well as the third quadrant is a subspace. Then what happens? So you'll consider -1, -1. You multiply with -1. What you get is 1, 1. That comes in the first quadrant, right? But what if you multiply some other vector? You take 4, 10. You multiply with -1. What do you get? -4, -10. That comes in the third quadrant. So that's working, right? The multiplication is working. Correct? No, but the thing is addition fails again. Suppose you consider -3, -1. Okay, you had with 1, 2. What happens when you had -1, -3, and when you had 1, 2? What you get is -2, and -1 plus 2 is 1. So you get in the contents in the second quadrant. So again fails. So the conclusion is this. The conclusion is you can't take a particular quadrant or a single quadrant, any of the quadrant as a subspace. That is a conclusion. Okay. Next question. So two things we understood. One is a zero vector is a subspace, and another one is you can't consider a particular quadrant or a condition like, x is greater than 0 or x greater than 0, y greater than 0, that kind of a condition. It's not okay. That is what we understood, right? It's not a subspace. Next question is this. Union of any two subspaces of V need to be a subspace of V. That is what they're telling. Okay. So the meaning is union of two subspaces. You are considering two subspaces. One is x comma 0. Another one is 0 comma y. X comma 0. It's in x-axis. 0 comma y. You are considering the y-axis. When you had two terms in x-axis, that means that you multiply two terms in the x-axis. That means add. You consider 1 comma 0 and 2 comma 0. You add, you'll get 3 comma 0. And you multiply with minus 1 or plus 1. The answer lies in the first one. Since x is real, it's okay. That is a subspace. This is a subspace. Since x is also belongs to R. Here also, this is also a subspace. So what I'm doing is I'm considering two good subspace. Then what I'm doing is I'm doing the union of these two. I'm doing the union of S and T, and I wanted to find out whether after doing the union of two subspaces, whether the resultant union is a subspace or not. That is what I wanted to find out. Okay. So I assume that there are two subspaces, S and T. But yeah, let's consider one example here. See, you can explain with the example also, no problem. Let's consider 1 comma 0 that comes under x comma 0, S that belongs to S. You consider 0 comma 1 that belongs to T, 0 comma y. Then I am adding these two. What you get is 1 comma 1. That doesn't belongs to any of these two, right? That doesn't belongs to any of these two. So the union of any two subspaces doesn't create one more subspace. So that statement is wrong. So you can't create by union of any two subspaces doesn't leads to a one more subspace. Okay. So that statement is wrong. So because of this condition, okay, 1 comma 1, whether it doesn't lie either in x comma 0 or 0 comma y, right? So it is plane representing, it's in the plane. These two are lines. So that's why this is not a subspace. Next question is this. Prove that the subset W is equal to x1 comma x2 comma x3, three variables. What is the condition given? x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. That is a condition. Okay. So you are considering three variable. You consider any vector in this W. If you add all the three vectors, it becomes 0. That means you can consider like 2 comma minus 1 comma minus 1. That is an example for W. When you add all the three, x1 comma x2 comma x3, it becomes 0. Those kind of set you take. Prove that subset W of x comma 1, x comma x1, x2, x3 of a vector space V3 of R is a subspace of V3 of R. Okay, you can't tell that sir, somebody is we have to represent like R cube and all these things. Sometimes they'll represent like this also. Okay, 3-dimension, but actual definition from your prescribed textbook is R cube. So what you have to prove is whether this is the W, whether we consider that W is a vector space or not. That is what we have to prove. Okay, whether it is a subspace or not, that is what we wanted to prove. Whether W is a subspace. So in order to prove whether W is a subspace, two conditions you have to follow. One is addition, another one is a multiplication with the scalar. After addition of adding two vectors, if the answer lies in the subspace only, then one of the condition is okay. Then when you multiply the constant with that vector, any of the vector in the subspace, if that comes again in the set of vector, then it is called as a subspace, right? So what I do is I'm considering two. Since I need two vectors, I'm considering as alpha beta belongs to W, two vectors. That means belongs to W means two vectors, alpha beta is there. So that will be in W. That means that if you add all the elements in alpha, it becomes 0. If you add all the elements in the beta, it becomes 0. Then you are considering two constants, C1 and C2, that belongs to real world, R. So since alpha, beta belongs to W, definitely it will be having a 3 coordinates, x1, x2, and x3, right? And such that, obviously, from the W, you have a conclusion that W is x1 plus x2 plus x3 is 0. So since alpha is defined as x1, x2, x3, the sum of these three should be 0. Then you are considering beta as y1, y2, y3. See, you consider whatever the variable you want, okay? If you are with your p something, you consider. It's better always take x and y. But you consider whatever you want. No problem. No need to take alpha, beta also. No need to take C1, C2 also. Your wish. Whatever you want, you take it. But this should be same, real world. So here, so this two we considered, alpha and beta, right? Next is this. See, this you have observed in signals and system superposition theorem, right? Here, see, instead of addition, first you do the addition, then you do the multiplication. If you prove this, it satisfies both. Okay, if you get the result after proving this C1 alpha plus C2 beta, then you no need to do separately addition and subtraction. This is one way. I wanted to you guys to know that this is also works for subspace. Okay, either you do first addition, that is the statement, right? You do check the addition, then you check the multiplication. But here, even if you use this, it's okay. So I have this thing, C1 into alpha plus C2 into beta, right? So C1, you know, alpha is x1, x2, x3, C2 is a constant, beta is y1, y2, y3, I substituted. Then I am multiplying C1 here. So C1, if you multiply with the x vector, it becomes C1 x1, comma C2 x2, comma C3 x3. Similarly, if you multiply C2 to y1, y2, y3, you'll get C2 y1, C2 y2, and C2 y3, right? Then you have an addition here. So you add. Obviously, what you should do, the first elements you are going to add. C1 x1 will be added to C2 y1. C1 x2 will be added to C2 y2. C1 y x3 will be added to C2 y3. So this is the resultant after adding. Then obviously you know that, you know, see, what is the condition of this vector is x1 plus x2 plus x3, sum of all the vectors should be equal to 0. If the sum of all the vectors becomes 0, that means that this also belongs to W. So that's why I'm adding all these three. I wanted to check whether the sum of all these three vectors are 0. So I'm adding these three. So the resultant is this. Then what happens is, see, since you have x1, C1 x1, C1 x2, and C1 x3, you can take C1 as a common factor. You'll get x1, x2, x3. Similarly, you have C2 y1, C2 y2, and C2 y3. You take C2 as a common factor, you will get y1, y2, y3. But you know that x1, x2, x3 is 0, right? From the definition of the alpha. And similarly, beta is y1, y2, y3 is 0. So substitute 0 here. Then constant into 0 is 0. So overall answer will be 0. So when we added all the vectors for this, the result what we got was 0. So that means that this this belongs to W is a subspace of V3R, right? So we want, in order to prove whether W is a subspace, we considered randomly two vectors which comes under W, alpha and beta. Then we using this formula C1 alpha plus C2 beta, that is a combination of both multiplication and addition, superposition theorem. So if you get the 0, that proves that it's a subspace. Next question is this: verify whether W, okay, verify whether W, that is x1, x2, x3, what is the condition here? X1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square less than or equal to 1. That is a condition of all the vectors which is present in W. You consider any vector. That means one of the example is this vector. We are assuming that this vector exists in the W. So what is the condition you have to check? x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square. That means 1 square plus 0 square plus 0 square. The 1 square plus 0 square plus 0 square is 1, that is less than 1. So this is okay. So this is also one of the example. It belongs to this. So all the vectors which is present in the W, like alpha, beta, gamma, all the vectors which are satisfies this formula. Then what you have to prove that, verify whether W of the V3 of R is a subspace of V3. You have to prove that whether W is a subspace. So same good old method. What you should do here, I taken the addition and multiplication separately. So see, if you know, if you have an idea that it fails in one of the case, you consider that case only and you prove it. Okay, there is no need that you have to write both. You consider one case and prove that it's not working. It's not a subspace. It's fine. So I'm considering alpha and beta. So alpha is 1 0 0, beta is 0 0 1. I'm adding those two. So what I got was 1 0 1. But what is the condition in W? You take the square of all the elements in the particular vector, that should be less than 1. If you take the square and sum of that, that means 1 square, then 0 square, then 1 square. You add it, it becomes 2, that is not less than 1. So when you add two vectors which is comes under the W, that is not belong, that is not satisfying. After adding, that is not satisfying the addition rule. Okay. So then what is the conclusion?
Sir,
is,
but
this is not a subspace. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Tell me.
Sir,
Yeah.
but this condition alpha plus beta that less than or equal to 1, it will be only true for 1 0 0 1, no, sir? Or 0 0 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Like any other cases, like where it's less than or equal to 1, sir, except the one thing being 1.
What's your question? I didn't get.
Sir, like we take samples, no, sir. Like 1 0 0 1 alpha plus beta is equal to 1 0 0 1. If you get, it's less than, it's not less than or equal to 1, no, sir.
Okay.
Like if you, is there any other sample like where it will be less than or equal to 1?
Good. It's 1 0 0 1 0 0 minus 1. Or no. If you add, you consider 1 0 0 and minus 1 0 0. Two vectors. If
okay,
you add,
plus,
you'll get 0
plus
0
or
0.
plus and minus.
Yeah. Or you consider 1 0 0 and another vector as 0 0 0 only.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
all
sir.
the possible cases possible. Yeah. Okay. Next question is this. Prove that the subset W, the same variety. See, why I'm given this much example is you have to understand what is a subspace. So W, here the condition is X is equal to Y is equal to Z. You have to prove that whether it is a subspace. So same good old method. You take alpha is equal to X1, Y1, Z1, beta is equal to X2, Y2, Z2, right? Then X1 is, this is the condition which is given in the question. X1 is equal to Y1, Z1, and X2 is equal to Y2, Z2, right? This is what we have taken. And now we have to check addition and multiplication. Okay. So we have to check addition and multiplication. So here you observe. Okay. Yeah. I have taken the superposition part. So if this is satisfied, then both addition and multiplication is satisfied. Here C1 is there, then alpha you substitute. Alpha is X1, Y1, Z1. C2 is there, beta you substitute, X2, Y2, Z2. Then what you should do, there is an addition between that, right? So obviously what you get, C1, X1, C1, Y1. So this is what you got. And what is the condition here? The question itself, they says that all the set of vectors satisfies this condition. So we are considering alpha should satisfy this condition. X1 is equal to Y1 is equal to Z1. Then here beta should satisfy this condition. X2, Y2, Z2. But yeah, we have this actually from this superposition, we have this. So I'm taken that same, because of this condition, X1, Y1 is equal to Z1. I replaced all X1s with Z1s. I replaced all Y1s with Z1s. So what I got? So I replaced X1 with Z1. So X2 with Z2. Similarly, because X2 is equal to Z2, Y1 I'm replacing with Z1 because Y1 is equal to Z1. So I replaced all X and Y with respect to Z, you got this. When you observe that, C1 Z1 plus C2 Z2, same thing repeats here. So that means that all are equal. So since all are equal, that is the condition should satisfy if it should lie in the W. So it's a subspace. Okay. And the next and the last question which comes under the subspace is this. This is from the prescribed textbook. Describe the 3 types of subspace of R square. Second question is, describe the 4 types of subspace of R cube. Describe the 5 types of subspace of R to the power 4. Only to give an idea what is the meaning of a subspace, this question is choose. First, we'll start with R square. R square is nothing but what is 2 dimension. R cube is 3 dimension. R4 is 4 dimension. Yeah, the first solution is this. You have a subspace of R square. So obviously you will be having a 0 vector that we already discussed in the starting of this class, that 0 vector is a subspace. It satisfies, okay? When you add a 0 vector with the 0 vector, when you multiply any constant with the 0 vector, it becomes 0 vector only. So obviously it is a subspace. Then lying through the origin, right? That comes under as a subspace. And one more is R2 itself. That means the whole R2, the whole thing, it's called as a. So these 3 subspaces will come under 2 dimension. So you can predict the 3 dimension thing now. So the 0 vector, the first, what are all the possible subspaces are 0 vector. One of the 0 vectors are the subspace. 0 vector of a 3 dimension. That's why it is 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now you have a line. How do you represent line in a 3-dimensional space? Only one of the variable will be there. Other 2 variables will be 0. So that's why it is. So actually it is x0, x comma 0 comma 0. I made a mistake here. So another one is 0, y 0. This is 0, 0, z. Okay. So this is a representation of a line in 3-dimensional vector. Okay. Even if you have a 3-dimension vector, if you have only one variable in that vector, that represents a line. So similarly, you have a plane. Okay, 3-dimension. Actually, it's a solid, okay, solid square or a circle, right, or a spherical. It's a 3-dimension. Whereas, so x comma y comma 0 is an example for a plane in a 3-dimension. You consider other cases like 0. I made a x as 0. I have considered y and z. Similarly, I have considered x and z by making y is equal to 0. So these are all subspaces. Okay. And R cube itself. And similarly for R4, you have this, okay. Similarly for R to the power of 4, you have a 0 vector. Next comes a line through the origin. That means a line, okay. So that means x 0 0 0 0 y 0 0 0 0 z 0 0 0 0 something a. The planes through the origin, you consider 2 variables, other 2 variables 0. 3-dimensional space, consider 3 variables, other dimension is 0. So these are all the possible subspaces. Okay.